Sup nerds, this expansion is now these expansions. Let's take a look at this one. The Sun Never Sets expansion for Splendor contains 2 modules for the game that could be implemented on their own or combined with some or all of the modules in this box and from the Silk Road expansion. Although we have seen these modules before in the Cities of Splendor expansion, they have now been updated with new art to match the second edition of Splendor and have received some slight rule changes that allow them to be combined. The Orient expansion adds 3 new decks to the table, contributing 2 additional cards to each row and bringing the total number of available cards to 18. These cards have new abilities, including cards that will mimic other cards you purchased, cards with double gem bonuses, cards that let you purchase additional cards for free, and cards that you purchase by discarding previously bought cards instead of gems. This edition of the Orient does omit the Reserve a Noble cards that were present in the Cities of Splendor version. The Strongholds module gives each player 3 Stronghold markers that you will place on cards throughout the game. Cards holding these markers can only be purchased by the player whose marker is on the card, and having 3 of your strongholds on the same card will allow you to purchase said card after your normal action is complete and before you discard down to 10 gems. Other than the stronghold tokens being wooden pieces instead of plastic markers, the only change to this module I noticed was a slight rule change when it comes to moving your opponent's strongholds. You can now only remove an opponent's marker if there are no other strongholds present on that card. So I thought it was really ironic when Space Cowboys split the expansion into 2 boxes that they put my most favorite and my least favorite of the modules into the Sun Never Sets. So my favorite absolutely is the Orient, where you add the new cards onto the table. I just really like that it's more of the game. It's probably the easiest to explain because there aren't really any rule changes. It's just, hey, there's new cards to buy. They do slightly different things and we'll go over all of those. But there's no strategic differences really in the game. There's no overly heavy mechanic differences in the game. It's just a good expansion that adds more stuff to the game and you get more options. And that's probably what hits the nail on the head for why I like this expansion so much, is that it's just more. On your turn, you have more things to choose from. You have more cards you can buy. The cards that you can buy over here now give you more things, like having 2 gold or the double gems or the buying free cards. You get even more cards in your turn. I love it.
I love it!
And that does kind of get me into why Strongholds is my least favorite of all of the expansions. And it's not a bad expansion at all. We've played it several times. I enjoyed those games. It's not at all a change to the game that made me not like Splendor anymore. It's still one of my favorite games to play. It's quick, it's strategic. It's you're trying to puzzle things together. There's not heavy player interaction, but there is still some reserving cards somebody wants to buy or that card gets bought out underneath you. Strongholds definitely amplifies those aspects of the game because you have more cards you can block. Especially if you're not playing with the Orient expansion, if you're just playing base game with Strongholds, typically you have 12 cards you can buy from. The Strongholds actually reduce that number because if you're playing a 4-player game and everyone's got their Strongholds out, that might be 9 cards you can't buy on your turn. And that's stupid.
Oh, I don't like that.
Now, it definitely does add a little bit more strategic elements to the game because where you're placing your Strongholds, are you placing it to block somebody else? Are you placing it to benefit yourself? Getting 3 Strongholds on 1 card and being able to get that card an additional action for free, that feels so good when it happens. I will definitely give them that. And I will say the other thing I do really appreciate about these 2 expansions being in the same box is that I think you should play them together. I don't think, if you're gonna play Strongholds, I don't think you should ever play it without the Orient because it does limit your interaction so much. It limits your options so much. Having those 6 extra cards you can purchase definitely makes the Strongholds work a lot better in my opinion. But hey, if that all sounds like something you want to add to your game, there will be purchase links in the description for this expansion, the other expansion, the base game of Splendor. You know what to do with those. There's also a link to check out Game Toppers. They are the biggest supporter of our channel right now. We appreciate them so much. And there's also a button where you can subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.